Yo, what's up guys, I'm back, got a review for you. This time we have this 90 rated Stoich. Now I've been wanting to use this card since the first day of FIFA, and as you can see I picked him up for 730k. So on that sense, he's 5'10", got a medium work rate, he's got the left foot with the 4-star skills, 3-star weak foot. In the 16 match I played with him, I got 15 goals and I also got 3 assists. I decided to go with the Hunt Chem style, and I'll speak about him after on the positive and negative side of things. As you can see this year, this is exactly where I wanted to try him, because his old position was, I think it was left mid or left wing on this middle card, but this year he can play striker with alternative positions, so it makes him so good. On stat sense, we've got 90 pace, 90 shooting, 87 passing, 90 dribbling and 84 physical, so on paper just like such a good well-rounded card. I used him in a kind of 4-4-2 kind of thing. It's a 4-3-2-1, but it defends in a 4-4-2. I do tactics on that if you really want me to, but it's a 4-4-2 in effect. But I've got nothing more to say, so if you do enjoy the clips or want to see more, please do subscribe. It does help the channel out a lot, and I'll see you after the positives and negatives. Peace. So on to my overall thoughts about the card then. Now we're going to kick off straight away with the 4-star skills, 3-star weak foot. Now this is one of his most lackluster aspects about this card, the 3-star weak foot. Now although you got the Travella meta this year, the weak foot he would get pushed onto a lot of the time, and that will be very frustrating because he's got quite a weak foot, and as you see in some of the clips he would miss on his right foot quite a fair bit, to be honest. Like, it is actually a 3-star weak foot, not like other cards. But as I said, you can use the Travellas like I have been doing, so it's not too much of an issue, but it is still there. Next up is the 4-star skills. Decent, to be fair. You can pull out some McGeedy's and stuff like that just to get you out of some sticky situations. You do really want 5-star skills, but what can you really say? Now the pace for me, as you've seen in one of these clips, he absolutely burnt Kyle Walker for pace. Unfortunately missed his shot, which is kind of disappointing, especially when he was on his left. But with that being said, the pace is very fast, to be fair. Especially as he's 5'10", he will take off very quickly and get through those defenders. Now the shooting for me, as I said, was very good. A little bit inconsistent at times for how good the shooting aspect should be, to be honest. That was frustrating me here and there, especially with those Travellas where they're normally broken on every single card. He would miss quite a few of the chances, so that was getting a little bit annoying, especially on the right foot, as I've said. But the attack position is one of the best aspects about this card. Really good, always in the right position at the right time. The finishing's most of the time decent, but as I said, a little bit inconsistent. And the rest shooting attributes, quite good to be fair. Another passing attribute for striker. This is so good. This is why you probably play this card cam, wide, whatever you really feel like with this card. The passing attributes are phenomenal for a striker. Like if you want to do a 1-2 passing, you can easily do it with this card, and that's what makes him so good. And that curve start is also really nice, but unfortunately doesn't have the finesse shot trait or anything like that. Now, the dribbling attributes. Now, although he's 5'10", he's not really the most agile of cards, even though he will be able to twist and turn quite nicely. He hasn't got like the 5-star skills or like 90+ agility, even though he's very close. But, with that being said, he is still a nice nimble card and will be able to like cut through gaps. Now, the balance for me is actually quite decent, and this is go hand in hand with his strength and aggression. This is, in my opinion, the best aspect of this card. The strength and aggression, especially at 5'10", he could hold off a lot of players, and definitely get that shot off if he needed to. Because I saw him in a few of the clips, he was actually against Rudiger, and he still managed to hold him off just to get the shot off on time, which I felt was really good about this card, because he is only small. As I said, the composure, decent about this card. A bit inconsistent a little bit at times, but generally speaking, it's just because on that weak foot. The ball control for me, a few heavy touches here and there, but overall, not bad. Now the jumping head next to, even though he actually did win a header for me, which I thought was really surprising, especially since those aerial ability stats and also being 5'10", you wouldn't think he would, but he did, to be fair. But overall, I would say trying to avoid that as much as possible, because it's going to be a bit inconsistent. Now the last for me is going to be the stamina. The stamina is perfectly good enough if you can play him striker, especially with the right instructions, so the medium won't really matter. But if you're playing wide or cam, that stamina might be a bit of an issue if you go to like the 80th minute and stuff like that. And as I've already talked about, the strength is very good on this card, and the aggression is one of the best attributes of the card. Unfortunately, this is why I do want to touch on these the traits on this card. He doesn't actually have any important ones like the finesse shot or outside the foot shot. That's a little bit frustrating, especially with the 3-star weak foot, but overall it's still a phenomenal card. So on to my overall scores then. Now you need to take into consideration the time of year I am recording this. I'm recording this 3 weeks into FIFA, so he's going to be a lot better than most of the promo cards out at current time. But with that being said, we'll go through it then. So first for me is a pace. I'm going to give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. I don't think he's any better than that, because he will still get a pace at times, and it's not really like 99, 97, blah blah, but it's still decent. Now the shooting for me, as I said, was a little bit inconsistent, especially with that 3-star weak foot. So overall for shooting, I am going to give it 8 out of 10. I don't think I can give it any higher, purely because he was very inconsistent on it. It didn't really feel amazing, that weak foot, and even the strong foot at times he would miss quite a few easy chances, which did frustrate me quite a bit, especially in high level rivals. Now the passing for me, this is all depending on where you're going to play him. If you're going to play him cam or wide, I'm going to say it's probably about a 7 out of 10, but for a striker I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's generally perfectly good enough. You don't really need any more passing attributes than that for a striker. He can do the 1-2s, he can do the long passing, he can do whatever you really feel like. Now the dribbling attributes for me, overall really good to be fair. He's got the 4-star skills to go hand in hand with it. The only one I don't really like a little bit is a composure, as I said, along with the finishing, but overall, other than that, the balance is even good as well. So overall for the dribbling attributes, I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10. Things to boost maybe the 5-star skills, a bit more balance and a bit more agility, and it'd be a very nimble card. Now, the physical attributes. Now, the important ones he's actually quite good at, and ones I actually really like. So he's got the really good stamina, he's got the really good strength and aggression. The head, neck, and jumping are quite low, but that doesn't really matter too badly. So overall for that, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. If he had a bit more stamina, it'd be more like a 9. And if he had obviously more strength and more head, neck, it'd probably be more like a 10. But I can only give it an 8.5 out now. Now, on overall score then. Now, I did enjoy this card, don't get me wrong, but not as much as I thought I would, to be honest. So overall for that, I'm going to give it an 8.2 out of 10 for the start of the year. I just feel like there's better cards out there, especially for the price, which you'll get onto now. So value for coins in is coming in at around 750k, and I do think that's a little bit steep, even for an icon. I think purely because of the position modifier this year is why he's so much money. And because he's got really juiced up stats. But overall for value for coins, I am going to give him a 7 out of 10. I do think he's still a good card, but I feel like you could definitely get a lot better. You could definitely get like a Neymar or a Messi and a Vinny. That would be probably even better to have 2 cards for the price of 1 in effect. But that's all for my viewers. Always, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do subscribe. It does help the channel a lot. But I've got nothing more to say, so I'll see you in the next video, and peace out, guys.